Hey, 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 good morning, you guys. I am Christina Vieira, Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne, and coming to you here with Inspire Nations, where we empower you. We help to empower you to grow, live, serve, and walk out your purpose. So we'll get started. Today's episode 1, so this will be the first training of a multiple series. And I wanted to just impart to you something that I honestly believe that God showed me. And I'm like, wow, this is really, really impactful. So I want to be able to share this with my teams. So pun intended when I said impactful. The title of this training, you guys, is, I'm going to use my notes. Do you want to make an impact? Or do you want to just leave an impression? So actually, let me just switch that over. Do you want to leave an impression or do you want to leave an impact? If you want to write that down real quick, do you want to leave an impression or do you want to leave an impact? Because there is a difference between a person who does one or the other. I like definitions. So I want to share with you guys the actual definition from Webster's Dictionary. You can look it up if you need to. And the definition of impression is an idea, a feeling, or an opinion about something that is formed or someone, especially without consciousness, thought, or the basis of little evidence. So I'm going to read that again. It's an idea, feeling, or an opinion about something or someone, especially one formed without conscious thought or the basis of little evidence. So for me, when you say like the word impression, I think of like first impressions. Like you're watching this video right now and you have a first impression of me. You could probably think, Christina, you can't put your words together. You're mixing up words. Or Christina, that's a really nice new sofa over there because I love my sofa. Or Christina, your Arbonne hat is a little dirty. You know, these little things are just impressions. So this might give you an impression that I actually, I don't know, like I'm a normal person and I work out and this is like a sweaty mark, right? That's an impression. But an impression, these things are outward things that don't necessarily make an impact in your life, if you will. So an example of someone that leaves an impression to you, or an example to me, are social media accounts, people that I follow on social media, celebrities, famous athletes, maybe a person that I've encountered in public. Like if I've seen someone do a kind gesture or like an act of service for someone, I'm like, wow, they left a really good impression to me. Like I have a good impression of them. I think that they're kind, considerate. I don't know what they live like and they're, behind closed doors. We have no idea, but that's the impression I have of them, right? If I see someone that has road rage or cut somebody off, my impression of that person is they're inconsiderate, they're selfish, you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe they're in a hurry to get their child to the doctor, you know what I mean? They may not be an inconsiderate person, but either way, their actions left an impression in my life. Every single day, your actions are leaving an impression in someone else's life. Nobody's perfect, but it is a fact. Your impressions leave that feeling in someone else's life, right? Your actions leave that impression in someone else's life. I believe research says that you have I think it's 13 seconds to make a first impression with someone. So that's a lot can happen, Think about when you get cut off. That's a lot. It's a split second, and I already have an impression of somebody because of their actions. Have you ever met a person that has given you the wrong impression, but then you got to know them a little bit, and you're like, wow, you're nothing like I thought you were. My personality is seemingly extroverted, but it's actually really introverted. So I've actually had people tell me before, especially a lot in high school and stuff, like, man, I kind of thought you were a snob, but because I was quiet and reserved, nice to everyone, loved everyone, was like, whatever. But I've had actual people say, man, I thought you were too good for others. And then they got to know me and they're like, oh my gosh, Christina, you're nothing like I thought you were. My first impression for them, whether it was my fault or not, is someone that is reserved. Maybe when I walked through the crowd, I didn't make eye contact with other people. That can seem like I think I'm too good for everyone else, but really I was feeling the complete opposite. I just didn't want to be noticed. So that's, the introvert in me, but that's the impression that I left on someone. My point about an impression is that impressions can change, and an impression is basically an observation because of my actions. Now, I want to talk about that's leaving an impression in someone's life. Now I want to talk about leaving an impact in someone's life. The definition of impact, because Webster's dictionary says so, is the action of one object coming forcibly into contact with another. Another definition says, come into forcible contact with another object. And the third one that's on there says having a strong effect on someone or something. So I just want to repeat that one more time. The definition of impact is the action of one object coming forcibly into contact with another, come into forcible contact with another object, so two objects coming into forcible contact with another. And then the third one is have a strong effect on someone or something. To me, the difference between impression and an impact is the outcome. I'm gonna say that again. So the difference between impression and impact is the outcome. So when I say, do you want to leave an impression in someone's life through Arbonne, through your business? You might have just started 10 seconds ago, or you could have been in this business 10 years. I've been in this business for almost 14 years at the end of this, in just a few more months. It'll be 14 years since I've been with Arbonne. You might be just getting started. But what I want you to ask yourself right now is, do you want to leave an impression in people's lives, or do you want to leave an impact? Both are effective. Both are organic and happen whether you want to or not. And both are based off of your actions. But one, I believe, is more significant based on what that outcome is. So ways that people have made an impact in my life are people who have spoken life into me, people who have been honest and sincere and didn't give up on me, people who led by example and showed me grace, not only just with me, but with others, people that were committed, people that were disciplined, people that were that had good character and morals, and they were wholesome and joyful and all these things that they left those impressions on me. But it's what they did with that in my life that actually made that impact. So a couple people in my life that have made an impact are my dad. My dad has made a huge impact in my life. I've had coaches make huge impact in my life. Teachers, they've made huge impact in my life. My pastor and his wife has probably made the greatest impact in my life. My son, he's made a tremendous impact in my life. But all of these people started, well, except for my parents, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, my impression of my parents started when we were born, or what our impression of our parents. But the impact that they left in my life was a result of, also had something to do with the impression that they left upon me. So I'll use my pastor's wife for an example. I just always had a really good impression of her, the way that she carried herself, the way that she spoke to people, the way that she spoke about people, the way that she didn't speak about people. I'll just plant that little seed in there, because let me tell you, the way that you say things about people and the way that you don't say things about people can leave an impression, and it can also make an impact. She just always had like this calm, just grace about her, right? She made a huge impression on my life. But when she made an impact in my life was when she reminded me of who I was. When she, not coached me, because she didn't coach me in any way, but when the conversations that we had and what she imparted into me, and she would show me scriptures and things that just helped encourage me through a really difficult time in my life. That her actions and her sincere heart and what she did with that's what made the impact in my life. My dad made an impact in my life because he was a good example for me and just how he carried out his life. My dad's always been really healthy and disciplined and very rational. Those are things that I've always admired about him. He made a huge impact in my life. Who has made an impact in your life? Maybe it's a national vice president. I have national vice presidents, you guys. My upline has made an impact in my life. I love my upline. They have sidelines. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for some of my sidelines. I am a huge, huge, huge advocate for how important sidelines are, because I didn't know my upline for a while. We lived in different time zones. So my sidelines made an impact in my life. There was a season in Arbonne where I wanted to actually jump ship. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. and I had sidelines that came and talked me back, talked me off the ledge. Those are the people that have made an impact. So I want you just to kind of reflect on, what do you want your business to look like right now? Reflect on that. Just take a second and go, what do I want my business to look like? Now, take a second and reflect, what do you want your life and your outcome to look like as far as who you are outside of your business, but through your business? What do you want your business to look like? But what do you want you to look like? What do you want others to perceive about you? Not on social media, not through your physical appearance, not through the things that you have, not through the things of this world and things that you obtain, but who are you? What kind of an impact are you going to leave on someone else? And the other question I want to leave you with is, who can you impact today? What can you do through some action, actionable decision, and actionable choice? What can you do today to impact somebody else? You guys, I'm getting emotional. Others out there they're hurting. We have a world right now that is really, really hurting. And you have a vehicle. That's what Arbonne is. It's just a vehicle that can actually impact someone's life for generations. You can impact their health. You can impact their well-being. You can impact their finances and decisions and careers. You can impact their self-worth or their self-perception. That's what I was really trying to look for. You can impact their self-perception. You can even make an impact in their day just by sending a text message and say, hey, I just want you to remind you that you're special. Just something like that. That is completely separate of what you want your business to look like, but who you want to become. And we do that through this culture and through the opportunity of Arbonne that every single one of you guys is a part of. So I love you guys. I hope that helped you, and stay tuned for episode 2 next week. Love you guys.